In August 1991, Pam Reynolds lay on an operating table in Phoenix, Arizona. To treat a brain aneurysm, surgeons cooled her body to 60 degrees, sealed her eyes with tape, and drained the blood from her head. Her monitor flatlines. But when surgeons successfully restarted her heart, Pam woke up and described exactly what happened while her brain was physically offline. She recalled the specific shape of the bone-cutting saw and repeated the exact conversations her surgeons had while she was clinically dead. For most of human history, a stopped heart meant a permanent end. Today, modern medical resuscitation has pulled thousands of people back over that threshold, and they are returning with remarkably consistent reports. These patients describe floating above their bodies, traveling through dark tunnels toward bright lights, and facing judgment. These accounts mirror ancient descriptions of the afterlife found in texts like the Hindu Garuda Purana, written thousands of years ago. When our hearts stop beating, do we actually travel to a predestined underworld? Or are we trapped inside the collapsing architecture of our own dying minds? The Garuda Purana describes the first phase of death as a forced extraction of the soul by terrifying figures known as yamduts. The spirit then hovers near the ceiling, helplessly watching its relatives weep over the physical body. Biology offers a mechanical explanation for this. The moment the heart stops pumping, blood flow to the brain drops to zero. As the brain suffocates, the sudden breakdown of sensory processing induces a clinical out-of-body experience. We can replicate this in people who aren't dying at all. When fighter pilots spin in massive centrifuges to test extreme G-forces, the blood drains from their heads. They lose consciousness and report the exact same sensations of leaving their bodies, a phenomenon known as G-lock. This brings us to the famous tunnel of light. To understand it, look at this layout of the human visual cortex. There is a dense cluster of visual cells in the center of your vision, but a much sparser distribution of cells around the outer edges. As blood oxygen drops, this network systematically shuts down. The sparse cells on the periphery fail first, fading your peripheral vision to dark. Meanwhile, the dense cluster of cells in the center begins to fire randomly in their starved state, creating a blinding focal point. The universal light at the end of the tunnel marks the predictable mechanical failure of a suffocating human eye. Ancient texts detail a grueling timeline for this journey. The Garuda Purana describes 13 days where living relatives perform rituals to construct a temporary torture body for the deceased, allowing them to endure punishments like crossing the Vaitarni, a boiling river of blood and flesh. In the medical reality, there are no 13 days. This entire epic journey is processed in fractions of a second inside the dying brain's temporal lobe. Under extreme physical stress, the brain floods itself with endorphins to manage the pain. This intense chemical release causes the brain's memory centers to misfire wildly, generating the vivid illusion where your life flashes before your eyes in a single instant. The specific details of these visions depend on an individual's upbringing. An Indian patient in a hospital might report being dragged before the judgment seat of Yamraj, while a Western patient in the exact same medical state will describe encountering biblical angels. Instead of a universal judgment hall, the starving brain projects an individual's own cultural conditioning and deepest fears into the encroaching dark. Still, medical science struggles to explain a few lingering anomalies. We don't fully understand how patients like Pam Reynolds could correctly identify the shape of a hidden surgical tool or hear a specific conversation while all brain activity was physically flatlined. To definitively test if a floating consciousness could actually see the physical room, scientists launched the AWARE study. They placed hidden images on high hospital shelves facing the ceiling, where they could only be seen by someone floating near the roof. Over 4 years and thousands of cardiac arrests, multiple patients reported floating above their bodies, yet not a single resuscitated patient could identify the hidden images. The literal out-of-body travel theory failed the test. Some Eastern philosophies offer a different framework. They suggest the soul is a temporary phenomenon. Think of it like a bubble, where a thin outer film of physical and energetic karma encloses a pocket of empty space. When the final moment of death arrives, the karmic structure breaks down. The bubble bursts. The air inside doesn't travel anywhere. It simply merges with the surrounding atmosphere. In this framework, localized energy simply returns to the cosmos, ending the separate entity once and for all. If these hellscapes aren't biologically or physically real, why did ancient scholars invent the gruesome, hyper-specific tortures found in texts like the Garuda Purana? These texts functioned as psychological tools for enforcing societal morality, designed to make humans act ethically, even when no one else was watching. We can find the true weight of our final moments without looking to ancient myths. We only need the recorded observations of palliative care nurses who sit with the dying every single day. Those nurses report that a dying person's biggest regret is rarely a fear of hellfire or the punishment for their sins. Their most common regret is realizing they lived the life others expected of them, instead of the life they truly wanted. The terrifying beasts of the afterlife are biological illusions, born from the fading sparks of a starved brain. We must stop letting the fear of the 13 days after we die rob us of the days we have left to live.